God, it's really amazing. She had one moment where she connected, one moment. And I looked at her PET scans of her bones that had the cancer in there before, and then the PET scans after, and there wasn't a trace.
Hello and welcome to the Pacific Channel. I'm your host, Steve Doherty. If you're new to this channel and this is your first time listening, what we are doing is following a discussion between a host named Kelly and Dr. Joe Dispenza. This is about the third or fourth video we've done on this, and so this audio clip is sort of in the middle of this discussion. Sometimes conversations don't follow a super logical path, and that's kind of what happens here, but it's still a great audio clip with a lot of amazing information. In this audio clip, host Kelly asked Dr. Joe Dispenza a rhetorical statement or question that summarized would be something like, "The lack of belief in your work is just hopelessness, suffering, and depression. Is there any other way that is worth it?" Meaning that if you don't do the work, then your only option is hopelessness and despair. Dr. Joe is then prompted to say that it's really the 4-minute mile, which may not seem like the most logical response to Kelly's question, but that's because she doesn't ask a direct question. Again, the 4-minute mile reference is about how in 1954, scientists thought it was impossible for any man to ever run a mile in under 4 minutes. But once a man named Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, once other runners believed that it was possible, right away, other runners ran under 4 minutes too. So in Dr. Joe's context, what he means is that once someone sees another person just like them up on stage, explaining in great detail how they instantly got over some debilitating disease or illness, then they can much more easily believe it too. Belief is everything. You can achieve anything that you believe. Beliefs are powerful. The cool thing is that Dr. Joe recently said that a recent scientific discovery is that a collective network of observers create reality. So the more of us that observe a healing, the more of us that observe a miracle, the more of us that observe the blind suddenly seeing, or a stage 4 cancer victim instantly healing, then the more we create that reality for all of us. So it's a lot easier to believe that you can do something when you see the evidence firsthand. When it is somebody telling you their story, and you hear many others tell similar stories, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind start to agree with each other that it could be possible for you too. Let's listen to Dr. Joe explain all of this now, and then we'll discuss it further.
I'm your host, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Let's begin.
And that takes practice, but is there any other way that's worth it? The lack of belief or the doubt in this experience, once you have experienced it, once you look at the research and the scientific, demonstrations that you guys are uncovering and revealing right now that are just absolutely astounding, the benefits of your work and what we all have access to with this amazing instrument we have, the lack of belief in that is just hopelessness and familiarity and misery and suffering and divisiveness and negativity.
But it's the 4-minute mile. I watch people on the stage all the time. We get people in an event stand in front of the stage and tell their story. Sometimes they say, what the turning point for me was that I believe that this was the truth. I just didn't believe it worked for me. Whoa, you're out of the bleachers now and you're on the field when you start showing up like that. And the value is the 4-minute mile when she tells her story and she just looks no more different than anybody else. And you see what she did, what kind of conviction and the way she turned their health condition around from really sick to like completely better, like she's in a different body. I'm watching the audience and everybody's leaning in. I could drop a pin in the audience and everybody would hear it. There's truth right in front of them. That person is the example of truth. They're the embodiment of truth. It's no longer philosophy. They're wearing it. It's undoubted that somebody in the audience says, "Oh my God, I have the same health condition. If she can do it, I can do it as well. And now that person pierces through the veil, the limitation of a certain level of consciousness or unconsciousness, and they break through and they leave a footprint for someone else to do. And it's in the field. It's also in three-dimensional reality. You're looking at evidence right in front of you. You're looking at truth right in front of you. And the 4-minute mile was just, at one point, a belief that it was physically impossible to do. We have 1,400 people that have done it. So once one person breaks it, other people step through. And just like an infection can spread amongst the community and create disease, health and wellness can be as infectious as disease. So we have great evidence in our scientific measurements, but also we have great evidence in our testimonies, in our testimonials. And I think evidence is the loudest voice, and I think that's what people are looking for.
Absolutely. That was my formula for doing the documentary. It was, we need to show people, raise awareness on how powerful everything is belief, if they believe it's possible, and then show them examples of people actually doing it and healing and applying the work or the philosophy or the understanding and changing their lives. And you have hundreds of people are, at your advanced week-longs, get up and share these stories to strengthen people's belief and possibility. Can you just give, for our audience listening, one of your favorite, most recent healing stories so that they too can grasp onto something inspiring?
Oh, gosh. Well, there's so many of them. Let me think of one that is really super profound. We had a sweet woman with stage 4 cancer in her 30s, and cancer had spread through her entire body. And anybody who studies cancer knows that once it metastasizes and it gets into bones or into other organs, it's really hard to take it away, especially if it's in the bones, because it chews away at the matrix of the bone. And her father brought her because she was in so much pain that she couldn't do the things she wanted to do, and she had no exposure to the work. And God, it's really amazing. She had one moment where she connected, one moment, and I looked at her PET scans of her bones that had the cancer in there before, and then the PET scans after, and there wasn't a trace of cancer in any of her bones, no cancer in her body. All her blood markers went back to normal, and she got an upgrade, and it happened in literally one instant. So my theory is, if it can happen to anybody else, it can happen to you.
Oh my God, I have chills. So, I mean, you are demonstrating that so much is possible. And so where can people, I know you have the new program, the formula. I don't know if you want to talk about that. I constantly send people to check out the advanced week-longs you offer, because they have these individual transformations, but then you do these group healings and just collectively you're raising consciousness, you're raising the energy of the field. So
yeah,
what do you want to share?
Well, nothing in particular. I mean, a good place to start, like if you're interested in just going in easy, the formula is a great way. It's 12 little courses that are 30 to 40 minutes longer with 5 meditations that really demystify the brain and heart coherence thing. And a lot of people find that super valuable. People want to dive in deep. I recommend the progressive and intensive workshops and to practice and to study and to read. And if you do the intensive and progressive, the next step is the week-longs. And that's, to me, where all my interest is. It's like where I see the most amazing things take place. And week-long events, they're pretty exciting. We just did one last week, and the measurements that we got and the stories that were told and the transformations and healings took place that, I mean, God, I never want this work to be about me. I want it to be about us or everybody else. And you got to start somewhere, and start somewhere and going easy and practice.
I really like the point that Dr. Joe made, that just as an infection can spread amongst a community and create disease, health and wellness can be just as infectious as disease. It's like, once the collective consciousness of humans believes that healing ourselves is normal and natural, then the whole world is more likely to wake up and heal themselves too of anything without the need for expensive drugs and medicines that always have side effects. So Dr. Joe made the point that they have two powerful ways to prove that it is possible to heal yourself of anything. One is the scientific evidence, and the other are the testimonials of the 1,400 plus people who have healed themselves using Dr. Joe's methods. Next, host Kelly asked Dr. Joe to give one example of one of his favorite healing stories for people to remember. So Dr. Joe talked about that one lady in her 30s who had cancer all through her body. She was a total newbie to all of this. Also, she was in so much pain that she couldn't drive herself to the event. Her father had to drive her. If you recall from our last video, this answers the question about what if you are in too much pain to do the work? She is a great example of someone who was in a lot of pain, who did the work anyway, and completely healed herself. Dr. Joe said that she had one moment where she connected. And I think what he means by that is that she had one moment where she connected to source energy so directly that it healed her entire body and her life. Isn't it utterly amazing that her PET scans after her mystical moment showed no cancer existed anymore? How do regular doctors and scientists explain that one? To them, once you reach stage 4 cancer, it's all over for you. You've got just a few months to live at best. But if you can do this work, you can completely turn your whole life around, step into a new reality, and heal yourself 100% of any problem you have. So as Dr. Joe said, if it can happen to her, a total newbie to meditation and Dr. Joe's work, then it can happen to you too. If you like this video, please click the like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Our channel's goal is to make it to at least 100,000 subscribers so that we can improve the content and offer you more things. Additionally, if you want to be eligible to win a free ticket to one of Dr. Joe Dispenza's week-long courses, please share this video with 5 of your friends and comment below. In addition, we now offer group healing sessions, and your first 2 sessions are free. You can find the link in the description to register. After that, it's only $30 a month, which honestly, for what you learn and get, is a fantastic deal. Just to give you an idea, the normal price is supposed to be at least double that amount. We don't know how long we can do only $30 a month, but if you sign up at that rate, you'll be grandfathered in and your price will never change if you don't cancel. Please check the date and time in the description below along with how to register for it. And now it's shout out time. I'd like to give a shout out to Geraldine Seeley. She attended one of our group healing sessions, had back pain, followed the EFT steps that we did together in our group, and healed her back, even though she didn't volunteer to receive a healing. That's great to hear, Geraldine, and I'm so happy that you were able to heal your back. That's the end of this video, so if you have any questions, please ask them below and I'll do my best to answer them, or leave a comment about what you think about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.